Hey, this is Reverend Lance with Street Bishops, and we have another frequently asked question when it comes to starting or growing a new ministry. And I love this question because the answers are so simple that it'll blow your mind, but for some reason we just don't seem to think about them in this age of computers and social media and all of these things, right? The question is, how do I advertise my ministry? How do I advertise my ministry? Well, as with a lot of things, the first word is it depends. But I'm going to tell you some ways to advertise your ministry that will get you some immediate response and feedback, okay? The first thing I want you to do, and these are low tech, these are 1940 style approaches, maybe 1960, right? Because we have copies. The first thing I want you to do is take a map, an old-fashioned map, right? Get a map of the city where you live and draw a pen mark right there where you live. And then I want you to take a piece of string and a pen, and I want you to figure out on that map, it's going to have a little scale that says how much is 10 miles, right? 10. I want that string to be equal 10 miles. And I want you to put a thumbtack in the middle of where that map is, right there on your table or corkboard, and then take that string and with a pen, and I want you to draw a circle around, right? So if it's 10 miles this way and 10 miles this way, it's going to be a 20 mile, 20 miles on either side of you in all directions. 10 miles. 10 miles this way, 10 miles that way, 10 miles, right? In this circumference, okay? Now, I don't know math. Somebody could tell you how many square miles that is. But that needs to be your area of spreading the news about your ministry, right? That's where you need to begin advertising and marketing your ministry. Because everybody you would ever need to serve as clients, those who would work with you, who would follow your vision that the Lord has given you, those who would contribute financially to you, volunteers, everything, members of your church, anybody you will ever need for your ministry is in that circle. 10 miles in any direction of you. And that's just the way it is. We tend to want to use the web and everything to reach the people way out all over the place. And there's a time and a place for that. But if you're just starting out your ministry, you can get, on a nice day, you can put a backpack on and you can walk a lot of that distance. And this is what you want to do. You want to take all your safety precautions. I don't want you to do something that's dangerous. And take some others with you, which is great. It's a lot of fun. But actually walk around the neighborhoods, walk around the city, go to the places where those who may be interested in working with you in your ministry or who can benefit from what service your ministry provides, knock on doors. Go up and down the street and knock on doors. Introduce yourself. Give them a business card. Maybe give them a flyer that talks about what you're doing or what you're hoping to do. Introduce yourself to the community. Politicians used to do this. Now they run off to, other places in the state to do it. They want to go to where they're going to get the most votes. But, if you're in a particular place where they still have aldermen, they do it. They go door to door, get to know you. Well, in your ministry, you want to do the same thing. Let people know who you are and what God has led you to do. Because if only 1 out of 50 individuals, if only 1 out of 50 took an interest in what you're doing, within 90 days, your ministry will be up and flying like a bird. Okay? Ain't no doubt about it. But no one thinks to do that. To put on their shoes, to put on something comfortable, be safe, maybe take 1 or 2 people with you, and go door to door and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm your neighbor, and I happen to be a Christian, and we're starting a ministry, and our ministry will be for all faiths of people. I just happen to be a Christian, and maybe you can share with me, what your religious walk is, and maybe what interest you have in this type of work, and maybe you'll want to join with me and work with me in our work, or maybe you want to come to our new little church gathering that we're having in our living room, and we're just going to sit and have a good time and talk about love and joy and what makes us so full of love, and share our faith in our faith walk. You know, it's all right there. It's all right there outside your door, 10 miles in any direction. I mean, if you live out in the desert in New Mexico, that may not be true. So adjust the distance, right? If you live in a metropolitan area, if you live in downtown Richmond, you can reduce that 10 miles to 2 miles, right? I mean, if you live on the Fan in Richmond, it's going to be a little bit different. So make the adjustment of the distance. But you get my point. There are thousands of people right there. And 1 out of 50, and I want you to keep a record when you talk to people, right? Now have a flyer that you can give them, or have a business card. You know, do a little bit of something to leave with them, but make a note, like every time you go by and talk to somebody, just make a check mark of how many people you talk to, maybe get names or whatever you want to do, and do the math, and this is what you're going to find out. You're going to talk to 50 people, 10 are going to have some interest, and 1's going to join you. And that's a mathematical formula that will always come out for you. So when it comes to advertising your ministry, start with the old-fashioned knocking on doors and getting to know folks. Hey, that's today's frequently asked question. If you'd like to get access to 19 more, we have a body of 20 videos that you can have immediate access to. Come on over to streetbishops.com and just fill out your name and email address there, and we'll give you access to all 20 videos. We want to get you in our community of folks who are starting a ministry so we can all share this information. So come over to streetbishops.com and get the rest of these videos, and we'll see you on the other side.